Hello and welcome to Normal World. I'm Dave Landau.
I'm quarterback Garrett. Hey, we did it right this time. I didn't step all over you. Wow.
Proud of you.
Thank you.
And joining us, with cigarette earrings, is Angela.
Hi.
I'll be in Spokane this weekend. I just want to throw that out there.
Nice.
And then May 1st, Dallas Comedy Club.
Oh, May 1st. I can't wait for that one.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be
I
fun.
think that's next week.
It is not next week, but it's
not?
close.
I don't know what day it is.
It's close.
I don't know what anything is anymore.
Probably is next week. Is it next week?
I don't know. Probably is.
I live in a cave, I think.
Maybe.
Yeah. Hey,
All right.
like and subscribe. Before we go any further, if you have not liked this video, you need to get your brain checked.
Like it. Subscribe.
So like it right now.
Add, because something's going on with this algorithm.
Bro, I think there's something going on at the end of the year, like publicly. I don't know. Is it like a political thing?
Christmas.
Or
I don't know.
That's what it is?
Definitely
Yeah.
not an election.
Yeah, they're suppressing everything because of Christmas.
Yeah. But our guest tonight, you can see him this weekend at Hyenas in Dallas. You can see him May 2nd at Side Splitters in Wesley Chapel, Florida, and May 3rd and 4th at Side Splitters in Tampa, Florida. Those are great rooms.
Ooh.
I'm going to be there in July.
Oh.
I'm just going to add that to the plugs very rudely. Please welcome Jim Florentine.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Thank you for coming in, man.
Yeah, thanks.
It's been a while.
Yeah, we did not cancel you.
It's
Kept you
been
on.
never.
It's
My
yeah.
first time here.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Welcome to your first time
Thank
here.
you.
I don't think I've seen you since Kumia's, right? Anthony's?
I think so. No, maybe once you were doing a local show in Jersey. I did a guest spot.
We did do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was right before you did your special.
Yep.
I remember that. That was fun.
It's untrue. You were on this show already. It was just through Skype.
Oh, that's right. I did Skype in.
Yes.
That's right. Which is like, it counts half. You know, it's like half a point.
Is that when I got canceled in Seattle?
That was the Seattle
Yes.
cancel.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Which,
Good to have you here.
yeah, it's better in studio all the time.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah.
And you may remember him from Crank Yankers, which is where I was first introduced to him as Special Ed.
Hell yeah.
I have to ask,
Love that
'cause
show.
I'm from Detroit. You did a video with Eminem where you were his special needs brother.
Yeah.
Yeah, how was that?
What was that experience?
I'm going to ask in the most Chris Farley show way. Like, was that good? Do you remember that?
Well, we found out Eminem was a big fan of Crank Yankers, like after our first season. No one was watching the show. But we're going to do a second season. And we heard rumors that he was. And I'm like, wow, that's cool. And then all of a sudden, his management called and said, listen, Eminem wants to do prank calls with the guy who does Special Ed and Bobby Fletcher's the other character. And he wants him in Detroit in like 3 days because his daughter, him and his daughter used to watch that show. That was their favorite show.
Right.
And she's like, Dad, how come you're not on there? And Eminem did prank calls.
Right.
So within like 3 days, I'm in 8 Mile studio with Eminem. Yep. I remember Comedy Central was trying to be cheap and wanted to send me on a connecting flight to like friggin' Houston back to Detroit. I'm like, just send me direct.
From Jersey?
Yeah, from Jersey. They're going to save like $50. Like, I'm doing calls with Eminem. He's going to put the show on the map, and you guys are trying to save $50. I'm not a diva, but I'm flying direct.
Sounds familiar.
Could you try for maybe first class at the time?
I didn't even want first class. I'll sit and coach. Just give me a direct
Just
flight.
get me there.
You had some of my favorite terrorizing telemarketers or some of my favorite albums. Where did you just wait for them to call, or how did you get them? Because one of my favorite ones you ever did was just answering the phone and like the guy's trying to sell you something, and you just go, "Well, I got AIDS."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." You go, "Why? You're not the one that fucked me in the ass without a condom."
And it's very dry and subtle.
No, it sounds like you are dying of AIDS.
Yeah.
And then you keep the guy on the phone for a while.
Yeah, because he's trying to sell me something. I'm like, he said something about South Carolina. I go, yeah, I've been down there. Myrtle Beach. He goes, yeah, I've been there too. Like, hey, was that you I met under the boardwalk? Was that us that had, you the one who gave me AIDS? Yeah, I just somehow turned it on him.
So did you just wait and then just hit record?
I still do them to this day. I still got my phone ringing. I picked one up yesterday.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, I got the house phone connected, and it constantly rings because I'm not a do not call list, so I get a ton of calls.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah, the second you get on that, you get more, don't you?
I don't know, but I never got on it, so my phone number is active. I think they have a whole thing where they sell your number. Like if someone picks up, there's an actual voice that picks up. They sell it to other companies.
Oh, that's fantastic.
I remember I got a home phone like 9 years ago. I did an album, and then I just disconnected. I go, I don't need it. I plugged it back in like 6 years later. It was the same Windows company calling me 6 years later. The same company. It's always like, hey, we had a problem last time we talked to you. We have it in our file here. I go, I don't know. I was just trying to get the information. I don't know what I did. It's probably something like I tried to kill my grandfather or something.
Yeah,
it's a problem.
Yeah, it's on an album that's playing on XM.
Yeah, I know.
Meanwhile, they're calling you back. I get the text a lot.
Oh,
for
dude.
businesses.
Yeah.
And then they're like, could you use $3 million in capital today? I'm like, yeah, well, if I cut it with baby laxative, I could. But I mean, that is a lot. I go, I could kill one of my traffickers. Like, I'll just respond with that and just see if they ever get back. They pretty much just end it almost immediately.
Right.
But I'm just hoping that they respond at some point. It's probably not good to have it all in writing.
No.
Like, I'm dead serious. But yeah, if
Can you say that? I'm dead serious.
Yeah, but if you haven't checked out Terrorizing Telemarketers, they're some of my favorite albums. And you can still get like the Crank Yankers downloads.
Oh,
Yeah, Crank Yankers is still out there. We're still doing Crank Yankers. They didn't, no special ed though. They came back about 2018. They said, listen, we can't do that character anymore.
Come on.
Really?
Did you do all the other
originally-
characters?
Like, let's just say what it was.
Yeah.
Wasn't it originally just called The Retard?
Yeah, I invented them. I just called them retard. So when a telemarketer call them like they're trying to sell a retard something, and then when Crank Yankers came around, they go, hey, we want to use that character. We can't call him retard, so we're going to call him special ed. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Fair enough.
It's a fun name.
I'll meet you halfway.
The puppet was great because I was in college for the 1 year I went when that came out. And, dude, you had fraternities watching that, crying, laughing of just, you've got mail. Like, that swept the nation.
It was insane. I couldn't believe how crazy. I remember being like at a movie theater, all these kids in front of me are doing it, and I'm like, I'm not going to say anything, like waiting online to get tickets.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go, hey, I'm that guy. They're like, yeah, right.
You know that? That's me.
Yeah, right. That's, yeah.
Dude, that's incredible, though. Like, this, to have to hear your voice, like...
And I just did it as a goof. Like, I always did it with my friends growing up. Like,
Right, yeah.
watching football on the team scores. I'm like, yay, touchdown, yay, yay. And then years later, I'm doing that. My friends that I grew up with, like, you're making money on doing that?
You're like,
We're doing that when you were like
yay.
11. I'm like, you're damn right. I bought a house. God bless America.
Yeah, you're like, oh, yeah, making a ton of money on that.
Oh, hell yeah.
The best was, so I took one publicity post picture with the puppet. We did a premiere at Caroline's in New York City. So and what happened was all the improvs and Funny Bone, this show took off. They put that as my 8x10 outside the comedy club.
Okay.
So everyone thought I was a puppet act, bringing special ed and working special ed. So I had like kids coming to like the improv and Funny Bones because like, oh my God, he's going to do a puppet show. Yeah. And I don't do it. I would just do it at the end. Yeah. And then I'm opening with a homeless jokes. Like, what if people are walking out? Like, where's the puppet?
What is this?
They're yelling. I'm like, there's no puppet. I don't work with a puppet.
Yeah, you're like,
I'll save it for the end. I go, I'm not going to do it now. It's my Don't Stop Believing. My yay, I got mail.
Yeah, you got to go out on the high note.
I'm not opening with Don't Stop Believing.
yeah, this is my Don't Fear the Reaper twice.
So I had so many walkouts, but then I picked up other fans. But people were like, "What is this? We thought he was going to." I remember some old guy in the front. I go, "Sir, you're a grown man. Okay, sorry, there's no." I'll go, "Close your eyes and I'll do the voice for you." Suspend disbelief here.
Also, you saw a puppet wearing a helmet out front. And you're mad that it's not here.
You're no man. Yeah. They did give me actual puppet though when
There's one right there, actually, a special
We have
needs
a
puppet.
Special needs puppet right
I
here.
don't know where do we get that? What's
You bought it at
Show
like
It was literally at the mall, and I was just
Oh, well, that's Jeffy. I know who he
Jeffy.
is.
Jeffy?
Yeah.
Yeah, we figured that out
It's
later.
Jeffy.
and I didn't know what that was, but I was just like, why would this be for sale in 2023? And when I bought it last year, because it's just, it reminded me of special ed.
What happened? There's these kids down in Florida that shoot these like Mario Brothers, like puppets on their iPhones, and they get like 6 million views.
It's crazy.
Yeah, and so they use Jeffy, that's basically special ed, with the pencil in his nose, and he's retarded and stuff. My son started liking that at like 7 years old. I go, you realize where they got that from? He's like, no, and then I showed him. He's like, oh man, I go, I took it as a compliment.
Oh,
But
yeah.
that guy's really popular. My son got that puppet too.
That's awesome.
He's got a female counterpart.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, there was another one, a female there that apparently they mate.
wow.
It's really like dirty puppet, and it was just kids on their iPhones. It would get so many views. They put it up on YouTube.
It's incredible that you get to because my son's 9, but you can show your son something like that, and you know that it's a terrible thing you did, but it's also the greatest, and you know a kid's gonna love it.
Like, this was Papa.
It's like finding out your dad's one of the Jerky Boys.
Yeah, I know.
It really is.
No, it's exactly finding that out. Like,
So, some of the stuff my son, he loves like the silly stuff, like the calls or whatever and the special ed, but some of the dark stuff, like the prank calls I did, he's like, ah. Like I pretend I was giving my grandfather a bath and he won't shut up, so I drown him in the tub. And the woman's like, is everything? I go, I'm just going to put him under the water for a second because he won't shut the fuck up. And you just hear, blah, 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 and then all of a sudden there's silence. I go, uh-oh. She's like, what happened? I go, he's not breathing. She goes, well, get him out of the water. And I take him out. I go, oh, man, he's not breathing. She goes, well, do something. I go, can you just give me the information one more time? She goes right back into her pitch. So he's like, wow, yeah, he's not really into the dark shit. I love the darker the better for me.
oh, I'm the same
Yeah.
as you.
Yeah.
Like, that's my favorite stuff. And especially when you can show what garbage the other person is, where they're still selling you the product.
Still
They're
selling
like, we have a script to go through, so
I go, miss, I'm going to call 911. I promise. Could just give me the information one more time before I call. And she gives it to one more time. Perfect call.
how many takes does it take to get that perfect call like that? Like, I imagine
Sometimes
you're
it's
taking like
one.
8.
Sometimes it's 1. Sometimes it's 20. A lot of times I just ad lib them. Usually I don't know what. When I did that I Got Mail one for Crank Yankers, they just said, just call this computer company, say I got mail, and then just see where it goes. And I was just like, all right. And I just kept saying it over and over again. Even after the call, I go, that man, we got to do that one again. They're like, no, this is perfect.
Right.
This is
gold.
This is gold. I'm telling you.
That was, that was a thing of beauty. And I know as a comic why you thought it wouldn't work. Because you're like, there's no way this is good. Because it's just you saying it over and over again, like, but you didn't realize how hilarious it was.
Yeah, it was like the end of the day. I was doing like 4 hours of prank calls. I was tired. So I was just like, I'm just going to keep saying it over and over again till this guy hangs up. And he stayed on the phone.
Dude, he did. It's just, you've got mail. And the guy's just taking it.
I know.
It was in every promo for Crank Yankers. It's like,
It was ringtones on people's phones.
yes.
Oh, that was the best.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Oh man, it is just amazing too to get flown out to do that, and it's just a dream come true, especially from like my generation where I grew up with the Jerky Boys. Like your calls, I loved, and then Johnny Brennan, who was from the Jerky Boys, who I ended up meeting on Anthony's show.
Right.
And he came on, and then he's also Mort Goldman on Family Guy. So he's like telling me the difference between the two characters, and I'm like, okay, but just hearing,
nuance.
But yeah, but hearing him just like, oh, my shoes fell off, and doing that guy who's like, so sir, they beat you and they hurt you physically. He's like, yes, but they also hurt my feelings. And just hearing him do that voice from that generation is like the happiest I could be.
Yeah.
Prank calls were the best thing.
I remember when I got to Eminem studio and I was in the studio and we just mess around on the phone. And then I see him walk in because he wants to do calls with me. And I see him through the glass. I'm like, oh, man.
There he is.
I'm like, there he is. I go, all right, I'm not going to be nervous. I've met celebrities before. Don't be an idiot. And I'm like, because if I piss him off, he's going to write a whole album about me.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, you don't want to end up being Machine Gun Kelly. Where you have to change what you do for a living.
Your career completely changes.
So he walks in and he's like, he just goes, I can't believe I'm in the room with the guy that does special ed. Like, that's what he says to me. And then for like a half hour, he went over every call. How did you do that? When that guy called, what did you do? He knew every one of my calls, whether it was a telemarketer or the Crank Anchor stuff. And then we did a bunch of calls together.
Dude, that's amazing.
Do those exist anywhere that we can like?
They're online. Yeah,
Okay.
And then we did the MTV Music Awards where he beat me up.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. That was the year Madonna and Britney Spears kissed.
That's right. Yeah.
Same year. I was at the rehearsal and I saw him kiss in rehearsal. There was like nobody there. I'm like, holy shit.
Dude, that was a good year.
They had to rehearse that.
And they actually kissed in the rehearsal too.
Yeah, that was a good year for music and kissing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good year for everything. For comedy. What, that was 2002?
I think it was.
Was that the same year?
That was about 04 maybe.
Titty out?
4.
It feels like it's almost the same time. Janet Jackson went Titty Gate.
Somewhere around there, 2003, 2004 it was.
Titty Gate was 03, I think. Maybe 04. Maybe it was 04. I don't know.
It was 2003 VMAs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, 2000, yeah.
That was good.
Good days.
I miss those days. What are you going to do?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, if you get a chance, check all those out because those are ones that I very much miss. There's other show business news too.
Oh, what is it?
Harvey Weinstein.
Oh,
You guys
they're putting
remember
him to death?
No.
Oh.
They've acquitted him. And he's leaving jail tomorrow. No, I'm kidding.
No, they overturned.
Yes, they overturned one. He's still all right. This morning, New York's highest court overturned Harvey Weinstein's 2020 rape conviction, finding the judge at the landmark Me Too trial I don't know.
Prejudiced.
I know, but I don't know what that means. Pre-prejudiced. The ex-movie mogul with improper rulings, including a decision to let women testify about allegations that weren't part of the case. We concluded that the trial court... All right, look, basically here's what happened. He was acquitted of all the rape claims in New York, but he's still serving a 23-year sentence for other rape claims.
Okay.
So he got let go for the 17-year rape. All right, look,
he's gonna die
gonna
in
say-
jail.
He's a
He's dying
rapist.
in jail.
Unless the California one gets overturned. But yeah, that one, the one in New York got overturned. So.
Yeah, I don't see it getting overturned.
Still got what? 17 years?
23.
23. Yeah. The guy's
Here's a
gone.
question for you.
Guy's gone.
I don't want to
Do you
read all
think?
that.
Do you think the judge is right?
For
overturn it?
overturning it?
Yeah.
No.
Even though they were allowing like evidence that didn't apply to that case.
I get technically, yeah.
Well, then, yeah.
Because if they're bringing in completely like unconnected,
Right.
Well, I mean, are you allowed
would they
to
bring
have...
that in?
Are you allowed to have somebody in who's like a character witness?
Yeah, but then if they're alleging other things,
'Cause, I mean, if
That's
you-
what it
aren't
sounds like.
that-
It sounds like it wasn't regarding him at all. and it just
Well,
was
they had a
adding
lot of
on.
women come in out of the blue that never said anything about Harvey Weinstein testify. And they weren't supposed to. It's like, well, these women are just coming out of woodwork and say, yeah, he did this to me. He did this to me. There was no proof. There was no nothing. And they let that stuff in. Usually they wouldn't in a trial. So that's why they overturned it. It's like, come on, you let all this, it's almost what they're doing with Trump in New York. They're just
really,
these trumped up charges. Like, come on, it's just he said, she said against a one woman.
should blame the attorneys for bringing in all that garbage.
They're just doing...
Well, the judges let it. The judges,
true.
let all
Yeah.
that stuff in when they shouldn't have. Even when it was happening, like, this is ridiculous. Even if you think Harvey Weinstein's guilty, you can't just have these people come in with these stories out of nowhere.
Right.
Like, yeah, you can say that one. Yeah, okay, he touched you. Where? Okay, come on in. Almost like what they did with Kavanaugh when he was going through the Supreme Court. Yeah, he raped me on a boat. And one woman comes on, 5 guys, him and his 4 friends. And then all of them were fake, except for that Blasey one, which we still don't know. But the others, we just lied.
Well, and that one was so bizarre because it's like, okay, it was in the 80s, then it proved the time didn't match up, the party didn't make sense, and everything, like, it all just seemed to be, that whole Me Too thing seemed to be a problem. Like, the believe all women thing ended up destroying itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sad because it muddies the waters, just like any of the other, like the racism claims that aren't racism. It muddies the waters when there is actual, like, abuse happening.
Yeah.
And he's a rapist. I mean, there was already women in the courtroom that were raped.
Right. So,
Why
he's still
bring
got
an
23
extra-
years, and he's like 108 already. So,
He'll have another trial. They're going to retry him.
retry.
Yeah.
Yeah, then he's just going to be
He's not off scot-free then. Come on, guys.
Well, he's not going
Settle
to get off
down.
anything. He's
Settle down.
No, so then maybe the judge was correct in doing this just to keep things. You have to have a fair trial.
Yeah.
Well, then the
You gotta
judges-
keep him in
Even
there.
if it is Harvey Weinstein, we know he did it. Just like in the future, plenty
That's
of
the
men are
rules.
going to be accused of rape and they didn't do it. You wouldn't want them to be held to the same standard.
A couple of the women that were in there, I think even the one that supposedly raped, they kept in touch. He took to another award show like 6 months later. There was emails saying, hey, I miss you. I'm back in New York. Can we hang out? There was all of that
her.
stuff. Against Harvey Weinstein. It's okay, if he raped you, why 6 months later you want to go to an award show with him saying, can we meet up for dinner and all that stuff? So
Yeah,
there
that's
was a
what's-
case where maybe he wasn't. And would someone that got raped, would they really contact the guy and go, let's go to dinner 6 months later and can you take me to an award show?
No. I mean, unless you really... Okay,
Unless it's like a
Maybe.
grooming situation where he was like telling her lies to get her in that
Well, you
situation.
gotta
But
think
even
about the
then, I
pa-
don't know if it's
You got to think about the power dynamic thing too. I don't know.
He was offering all these women roles.
Yeah.
You
If
slept
I've
with
already
him,
been
basically.
raped, I may as well reap all the benefits from it.
True. He was offering all these
in the benefits.
women
Maybe.
roles if they slept with him.
Well, that's the reality is if they do owe you something and you did something for it, you do want to get what you're owed. I mean, If I let Harvey Weinstein in me, I'm going to want to be in that movie.
Yeah, you better get paid.
You want a 3-picture deal? Would you?
I wanted a 3-picture. Oh, for his dick?
Yeah.
One Tarantino movie's fine.
That's it? Wow, you're easy.
How about it?
He did produce some pretty good films.
I mean, look at the guy. One Tarantino.
You should pay him a conjugal visit. I know Tarantino.
Swing by and just get an Eli Roth. Yeah, yeah. Well, what's interesting is Tarantino on Rogan was like the only one who was honest about it. Where he's like, yeah, I knew about it, but I thought it was more like, him chasing everybody around the office and trying to have sex with everybody. I didn't think it was actual physical rape, but he's like, yeah, of course I knew he was trying to have sex with everybody. He was very honest about it, where you have Matt Damon and Ben Affleck be like, no, I would have never. Yeah. I mean, come on. Unbelievable. Why would he ever do that? And it's like, ridiculous. You didn't think a Hollywood producer was trying to have sex with people?
And you don't think they knew? Of course they did.
Yeah. 100% they knew.
Yeah.
There's no way they wouldn't. And I knew. I didn't know.
How do you think Gwyneth Paltrow got an Oscar?
Yeah.
And then didn't Brad Pitt threaten him back in the 90s when that's what Gwyneth Paltrow said, is that when she was dating Brad Pitt, Harvey Weinstein hit on her. She went and told Brad Pitt, and he roughed him up a little and said, don't do this again.
Yeah.
So he's known for.
And he was like, what's in the box?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was her Oscar.
And
that's probably how she got the Oscar.
I won't say anything.
I think she did something sexy for it.
What did she win the Oscar for?
I think Shakespeare in Love, which was with.
I thought it was Shallow Hal.
Yeah, we know it was for acting. Everything she's been in is just.
It's been phenomenal.
Yeah, there's not one movie Oscars. I can think of where she's not flat and boring.
Yeah, no, she's great.
We should get one of those candles, by the way.
One of her vagina.
Yeah, put it right here in between us.
Yeah, most Oscar winners have genitalia candles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have Denzel's in my apartment.
Denzel's ball smell.
His musk.
You're going to have Harvey Weinstein's candle soon. Starring in the new Tarantino film, his last film.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Starring Dave Landau.
I know. He just actually called off that he was going to do the Critic movie, and I don't know why, but I'm excited because he's
his final movie.
It's his final movie.
Maybe because the studio said, can you edit one page out of the 700 pages? And he said no.
Yeah. He
needs an editor. I love to.
Well, he lost his editor, his longtime editor.
Yeah, well, he needs 17 people to tell him to cut some of these scenes.
Dude, I loved Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, though, but the one before it,
The Cabin.
The Cabin.
I was like, dude, I'm sorry, but it's like I love your movies, but
even Kill Bill, I don't know, it was good, but
it didn't need to be
David
2
Carradine,
volumes.
Cut the sandwich for 6 minutes. Yeah. I don't need to see him cut the sandwich. Stop.
No, I'm pretty sure he was watching part 2 when he went into the closet just to kill time.
Yeah, I know. I got to cut the sandwich again. Jeez, how many times?
I'm going to go put on some leggings and jack off in a tie.
His Grindhouse movie was the first time I was like, Tarantino's not the best all the time. Where they just have a conversation, just like 4 or 5 chicks having a conversation with the camera constantly going around the table. It's like 20 minutes, and I'm like, what is happening?
It's a lot of feet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember, feet out the windows.
I loved him. Reservoir Dogs. Then he wrote True Romance, Natural Born Killers. He wrote right, and then Pulp Fiction comes. He's on a roll. And I remember Jackie Brown was opening on Christmas Day, and I went to New York with my girlfriend at the time to see it. I was so psyched, and I'm like, When it was over, I mean, there was 17 minutes of De Niro walking out of a mall to his car.
It's a little indulgent.
Nothing happening. I'm like, somebody's got to come out of the blue and fucking and shoot him. Something has to happen here.
Yeah.
Even the opening scene with what's her face,
Pam Grier.
Pam Grier walking down through the airport was like 9 minutes.
Yeah, there needed to be, and it is a movie that needed Pam Grier, but it's like you needed less De Niro and maybe more Bridget Fonda.
Yeah.
Like she was already there.
I like Django. Django Unchained was good.
Django Unchained was good.
I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah. And the problem with Django Unchained was it was DiCaprio really trying to get that Oscar.
Going hard on that
point
thing.
Where by the time he's in, what was that movie that he won for?
The Revenant.
Yeah, where he's just eating bear parts of just like, they're like, all right, just give it to him. This is the most desperate.
Pathetic. Here you go.
It's like he's hollowing out animals where he's like, he's really doing it. Just give him a trophy. It's the saddest shit. Yeah, I'm with you. Like, I love a lot of what Tarantino does, but but Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, I did really like.
Yeah, it was good.
Tarantino. I really liked Brad Pitt on Acid. I thought he did a good job, and then when he's just bashing that girl's head against the fireplace,
Yeah.
And the dog, he's just like, yeah.
I want a dog
That's a good movie.
I know the dog. Just,
Oh yeah, just
everything's-
trained,
Yeah.
ready to go. Pitbull.
But yeah, the cabin one,
Hateful Eight.
Flate.
Couldn't do it.
It's like a play. It really is like a play. It has like 3 acts, like a 3-act play, but it goes on for like 6 acts. You're like,
Yeah,
let's okay, we get it.
I do like Kurt Russell though, but I do love Kurt.
Goggins is great. He was in that. The whole cast is really great, but yeah, it just goes on just too long.
See,
saw it in
Tarantino's the
70
type of guy,
millimeter.
like at some point where he's almost like a comic where everything he writes down on paper he thinks is great. And he's going to present it on stage.
Yeah, well, he's like a comic with no self-awareness.
No self-awareness. Like he's playing to his audience.
Right.
And he's just going to babble and just, I can't cut anything from this 10-minute scene. There's nothing, no dialogue I can cut.
It's all gold. Keep it in.
Every bit of it. Yeah, it's like there's not. And then when the joke doesn't work, you just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Those comics where you're like, how are you doing a joke for 10 years that never works? And I've seen people do it, and it's fucking astonishing.
Is this Quentin Tarantino we're talking about, or Zack Snyder? Because it's almost the exact same thing. I watched Rebel Moon.
No, Tarantino's
whatever. Just the Rebel Moon is the worst Zack Snyder movie he's ever made. It's just slow motion, hucking seeds for like 20 minutes in slow mo. Just I'm cutting down wheat. I'm putting wheat in the bag. I'm shucking the wheat. Literally,
Why?
This is the movie. Because I don't know. Like Netflix just gave him a blank check and was just like, do whatever you want.
Art.
And he made that.
It's objective.
Yeah, it was,
They should have stopped making Star Wars right after the first 3.
yeah, well,
Sorry.
that would have been the best. I do like the other ones because I was a child at the time. But yeah, just stop after the first.
Ugh,
Would have been the best. Just let it die.
I'm not you're not a Star Wars guy, are you? At
Never
all?
saw 1 minute of any of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say you were a metal guy. There's no way.
Yeah. I was listening to Judas Priest. I didn't have time for fucking Star Wars.
How dare you?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I liked them when I was a kid.
Yeah, I like the
Then
originals.
the new ones came out, and I was like, this is just the.
Yeah, it's almost like that band Kiss. Like if you liked them as a kid, you'll still like them. But as if you didn't, trying to get in them as an adult, like
Never got the Kiss thing. Never.
yeah, I
understood
never
that.
did either. Like I just missed a boat on them.
They're playing 4 chords over and over and over and over and over, and they never change.
My son got into Kiss because of Scooby Doo and stuff, and I liked Kiss enough as a kid. But where like Detroit Rock City came out, and I brought my son to see Kiss last year.
Yeah,
and we were.
Are they fun live? They've got to be fun live at least.
Dude, it's so bad.
Oh no.
And like the guitarist who is not
Ace Frehley.
is not Ace Frehley. He was throwing picks to my son, but he actually cares because he wants the job.
Okay.
But then you just have Paul Stanley, who is a 92-year-old woman who's barely dancing and lip singing, and Gene is just like, it's just he has like
Animatronic.
he looks like a Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah, that's just
it's
like
just
out of
awful.
repair.
It is. It's like rigor mortis is setting in while you're watching him.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there with my son, and I'm like, I hope he doesn't know how bad this is. And about a month ago, I'm driving him in the car, and he just goes, "I'm sorry, Dad, it sucked. Kiss sucked." And this is
Really? He
what
said
when
a
he was
month later, he
8.
said?
Yeah. He's like, "Kiss sucked. I just had to tell you, it was the worst." And I was crying, laughing. I was like, "You were afraid to tell me?" He goes, "Well, I thought you liked them." And I go, "Son, I just liked them because you did."
Right.
And he's like,
Oh, thank God.
it was the
you were
worst.
both only there
That's
because
awesome.
the other.
We thought the other one liked it. And the tickets are expensive as hell, dude. I got like 4th row. They were like $500 each.
So
They're
even
rare.
an 8-year-old knew it wasn't good.
An 8-year-old knew he wasn't
Yeah.
singing. He knew it was crap. Like the one guy was cool because he was at least tossing him picks.
Yeah, Tommy Thayer. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was cool.
Yeah, but I wouldn't even on the last tour. Be like, you got to see him once. I'm like, I don't need to see that. It's silly.
You got to see him once. The worst version.
Platform shoes. They're in there. Gene Simmons is 72 and Paul Stanley's 71. It's like I don't need to see that.
Dude, Paul's son's band opens.
Okay.
Which is just awful. It's as if Paul Stanley's son has a band. and it's just fucking awful. And I wanted to like it, but it's like a guy who grew up rich, whose dad was, so he has no connection to another human being.
Yeah.
Because it's just like his dad was a rock star and he had everything. So he's not going to sing about anything that you're going to relate to or like enjoy.
Oh, he's got no material.
Well, it's not going to be rebellious either because everybody let him be rebellious. So it's like, you're not going to be, it's not.
It's like, I got everything I want.
Yeah, my dad was a druggie.
The end.
I took his pills once. Like, it just wasn't great. So, but boy, Kiss was shit.
Yeah, especially seeing that up real close. That's even weirder. Like if you're way in the back, you're like, all right, you're kind of watching this big screen or something like that, or you're watching a stage from afar. But when you're up that close, it looks really silly.
You ruin everything. Like if
Yeah.
you go and see Kiss, sit as far away as you possibly can.
Because you could see the moves Paul Stanley's doing, which he could barely move with those platform shoes, and he's 70.
He can't. He
It's
doesn't
silly.
know the words. He's far away from the mic.
Right.
He
You do
looks
not
like,
know the words.
Looks like you're
played the song.
drunk and dancing at a wedding. Like it's humiliating on every level.
Yeah, and there was rumors of backing tapes and vocals and stuff, and
He's not singing.
he wasn't singing. Yeah.
No, there's no possible.
What a lot of bands do is they'll record one of their live shows. With it doesn't sound exactly like the album, and they'll lip sync off of that instead of playing the album because then it sounds too perfect. So they'll get a good recording of one of their shows, and they'll use that as the lip syncing.
That makes sense because it didn't sound album perfect.
Yeah.
And it sure as hell didn't look it. But it was.
You're like, the energy of the music that you're singing is up here, but you were looking like you're way down here energy-wise, just like
Yeah.
phoning it in.
Yeah.
So-
And it was bad, dude. Well, you used to do, I mean, you were the host of
That metal show.
Why am I blanking? Yeah,
That metal show.
Yeah, with Eddie Trunk and my boy Don Jameson.
Yeah.
And did you run across them?
No, they wouldn't come on.
Really?
Yeah, they had a problem with Eddie, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, so none of them ever came on.
Oh, good. So it's all right to shit all over.
Oh, I don't. Even if I did that, it's
Still shit all
silly.
over them. Yeah, you don't care.
I've interviewed Gene before on Sirius. I have, a radio show on Sirius XM. He's fine, but it's just silly.
Yeah, it's rough to keep touring your final tour.
Yeah, I mean, they were supposed to. 96 was their final tour. They did Tiger Stadium.
I remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that
then-
was the final tour, and that was it. They got the original guys back together, and then cut to 2024. They just December 2023, which I predict in a year and a half they'll be back doing shows.
Of course, and it'll be part of the band.
Yeah.
It's still not the band.
No, it's not and they put the problem is they put the same guys in the makeup of the old guys instead of just giving them new characters. Even like Slipknot, when those guys, a couple of those guys leave, they put a different mask on the guy.
Yeah, so you're not just taking the old guy's job,
Yeah,
which is bizarre. But yeah, they're just dressed up, and yeah, none of the makeup was great.
no, and they apply
They do it themselves.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They do, yeah.
It's like, here, you're the kitty cat now.
I just can't picture being a 72-year-old man sitting in a mirror putting makeup on.
No.
An idea when I was 19, when I started out, okay, the glam, New York City, and then I'm 72 and still putting makeup on. I'm like, let's just get rid of this.
Yeah.
I think the fans will be okay.
It is funny though, because they're probably just afraid of the one time they did it without makeup, and everybody was like, "That's what you look like."
I know.
They all sang Beth, and they're just like, "Oh God, look at your face."
Because remember, they did go without makeup for like 3 albums in the 80s.
And everyone was horrified.
Yeah,
It's the worst selling out. No one wanted to listen to it. They were so ugly.
I know.
I saw Judas Priest, to go back to your Judas Priest, like maybe 10 years ago or so, and they were still rocking hard. And he's
Oh, he's great.
about the same age, I think.
Yeah, he's about 70. Yeah, no, he's still
Rode out on the motorcycle.
yeah, Rob Halford. Yeah.
Yeah, it was great.
Some of them can pull it off, but
Yeah.
His book was insane.
I couldn't read it. I love Rob, but I couldn't. There was every time I was like, oh man, this album, how they made it, and then he'd be like, and then I took the male producer and banged him in the ass in the bathroom. I'm like, it's taking me out of this. I want to know about the album.
Go back to the music.
Really didn't have to put
Yeah,
that in
he was
there.
very gay.
It was. Every time, I'm like, oh, good. How'd they make British Steel?
Yeah, you're like, yeah.
Yeah, and then I sucked 2 dicks before I sang Breaking the Law.
Yeah, there's nothing. There's really nothing rock star about getting dick. It's like, that's attainable if you're not famous.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. Go to any rest area in Jersey, on the Jersey Turnpike.
Most of the
Go to any gay bar and you walk out, guy, which in 7 seconds.
Yeah, it's not a problem at all. Stop at any porn shop and you think it's a woman. It's fine. It's just a guy. I couldn't believe all the dick I got once I hit it big.
I remember me and comic Jim Norton went in like one of those porn shops, and
he's great.
Jim wasn't in there at first. I said, listen, when you go in, just look down. Don't look anyone in the eye, or they're going to follow you into a booth.
Yeah.
Just look down.
Jim's looking everyone in the eye.
I know. He was missing for a while.
Yeah. He's just hunting for cock.
Lost track of him.
I love Jim.
It's great.
See him a lot still?
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, he's great, dude. He's a good dude. Oh, so let's talk about this. Pale Horse.
Have you seen this?
I have not seen this video. Do we have the video?
Is there a video? There's photos of it.
So, yeah, I have the photos we can pull up. I'll see if I can get the video to play, but it's on the...
So one of the is it like the guard horses or something of Buckingham Palace?
Runaway military horses. They got away. This is them there.
Okay.
Here they are running into bikers.
Oh, that's awesome. I hope
they got really far. Do you have the map?
Yeah, I got the map.
Get to the map. You show how
this is how far they got away.
And they're just running through the city, running people over, running into buses.
4 people were injured.
It's obviously the end times. You can tell.
Yeah, so they were running around the city because they'd gotten out, so people assume it's the apocalypse. They said they were blood-soaked horses, and it was the sign of the end. The chaos began while members of the household cavalry let them out, I don't know, on accident. Lieutenant Colonel Matt Woodward, commanding officer of the Household Cavalry Mounted Regiment. Ooh, it's very sexy. Said, to Jim met in that bathroom. Said building materials were dropped from a height right next to them. The ensuing shock caused all the horses to bolt and unseated some of the riders. So I guess some people held on.
Just, oh my word.
One service.
Excuse me, stop. Please.
Everything in
Pardon me.
Sounds gay. One serviceman was thrown from his horse onto Buckingham Palace Road before the loose animals collided with taxi waiting outside the Claremont Hotel, shattering the windows. This is fucked up.
Oh, well.
Sure didn't happen on Buckingham.
Bloody hell.
Palace?
Yes, Buckingham. An onlooker said that the horse appeared to be suffering from a large head injury. There was a lot of blood, and I was a bit distressed, to be honest, looking at the poor horse. Most people just assumed it was part of the apocalypse.
Obviously. Why would you not?
Were they wrangled?
They have been found and put
How
down.
did they take him down?
They've been found and shot.
They
like
are
one of those
dead.
big elephant guns, old British people have when they hunt.
It was one of these.
Oh, it was like a blow dart.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
makes
they
sense.
got him. So maybe it's the beginning of the end.
Let's hope so.
Hey.
Yeah, I really do. It's getting to be enough.
Yeah.
It's enough.
It's enough.
That horse had rights.
There you go.
I have to pretend that I'm pressing the button.
Let's try this video.
It doesn't work.
If we have it. A physical altercation broke out between San Jose Mayor Matt Mahan. I don't care. I should read these first. I didn't today. I was in a meeting.
Matt Mahan.
Matt Mahan?
Possibly? I'm just guessing. But it
Could
sounds
be
good.
Man. Security detail and a pedestrian passing by him in downtown San Jose on Tuesday evening. Mahan, who was in the area for a restaurant opening, was in the middle of an interview with KRON4. The Kron 4. The video Kron with Kron 4. That's an ironic name.
Well.
The video captured the entire altercation that escalated to violence. Let's take a look at the pedestrian and the mayor of San Jose.
I would not let him go in if we can. I don't know.
Yeah, that bullshit. You want to say something stupid? Drop the N-word, just slap him in the face.
So I'm doing an interview, sir.
Are you doing an interview? Yeah. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I'm moving on. I work right there. I'm talking on the phone. You got a problem?
Yeah, we're just trying to do.
Okay, cool. I appreciate you, my. Yeah, Shemai.
Step away.
Yeah, I'm gonna go do what gonna do right before you walked up to me? You know what I'm saying? Either way it goes. First of all, hold up. What?
Whoa.
No, bro, hold up. No. Let go. Hold on a second. Let's go. I'll smack you
I
right
can't
now.
believe there's violence in California.
Unheard of.
He's just walking away.
You want to get smacked?
Oh. You just reach out and give him a Pepsi. It chills him right out. What are you doing?
He just grabs the blonde woman.
I gotta call somebody.
Who do I call? Look at this guy.
What is the funniest fight?
They're both pretending they know karate.
He's got footwork.
They're both dancers.
Oh.
Oh, he put the weapon down.
Yeah, you get it, hon.
This wasn't live on television, was it?
I think it was.
Why is the guy still engaging with him?
That's what I don't.
You would think they would just go inside the building wherever they're at.
Yeah, usually if you have a bodyguard, you're supposed to leave the area.
Yeah.
This guy's just standing outside on the phone.
Because if he knocks the bodyguard out, then he goes after the politician,
Right.
the mayor.
Oh, they're throwing in a little bit of jiu-jitsu here, trying to get that leg. Drop him. Take him to the ground.
This guy's just
Take him to the ground. Whoa! Take him to the ground.
Well, now you're all on phones, which you were getting mad at that guy for. It's really a lot of hypocrisy going on in this video.
No, now they're hugging it out. It's all good.
Yeah, they're fine.
It's all good. Guys, get away from the fight.
Yeah, why are you just standing? Anywhere where
The
they've...
guy's just texting somebody.
It's not even a fight area. That's the problem. Nobody's seen one before, so they're not sure what to do.
Are they waiting to get like tagged in or something? Like get back.
It's the worst fight I've ever seen.
I think they're both tired, so they're holding each other.
Yeah, they're just...
He's fighting pretty good for a guy wearing a suit.
He is, yeah.
You know, he's got those dress shoes on. That could easily slip.
Yeah, they're very slippery shoes.
This is the longest fight.
It is very long.
It's the longest non-fight I think I've ever
Yeah,
seen.
it is hard to
It's just
classify
some
it
guys
as.
going
Look at
over.
the
Guys come up and are
Come
like,
on.
all right.
Come on.
Just
It's
break
over.
it up.
All right, fellas. Come on now.
I wish this is how more fights went.
Two guys that are of above average height are like, all right, guys, go back.
Whoa, yep. Try to throw a punch. Don't throw that punch.
Who's this guy who's like jacked with tattoos not doing anything?
That was the chillest fight.
That is sad. That's your bodyguard?
It's just like, hey, bro.
That's the last line of defense between him and a guy who goes crazy. Is somebody who's going to dance for you.
I think that guy could have gotten taken down a lot faster than that, you know?
No, I think it should have been.
My years and years of experience.
That mayor was just a white guy that's totally afraid of black people.
Oh, yeah.
As soon as he came over, he's like, hey, I talk about you guys, you know, downtrodden, and I feel bad for you guys, and I'm all for you, but don't come near me.
Yeah, he's like, look, I politely asked the cameraman not to let you in the restaurant. I know. Like seconds before he walked up.
We're doing an interview. We're doing an interview, sir, please.
He's like, look,
My constituent.
I'm just, you're not going to eat here, right? Like, I can go do another restaurant.
Like, hand sanitizer, please.
Yeah.
Hand sanitizer.
Oh, man. I really.
Gross.
I'm clearly a Democratic mayor, and I'm all about you guys, just not like
That.
near me.
You know,
Yeah.
You know,
Like, I don't want.
He looks a little like Dan Soda in that picture.
He does a little bit.
Right? A little bit.
Oh, God, I'm not a fan of California.
No.
Just nothing there
I
anymore.
don't think anybody that's been there is a fan of California.
No, and just why would you get into politics there? What's the point? I just
All the money.
Steve Garvey's running for Senate.
in
Yeah, remember the old baseball player?
Oh, I
Did
thought
you
you
really?
said Steve Harvey.
That's what I heard.
Steve Garvey.
I was like, I'll vote for that.
Yeah, I'm not voting for Steve Harvey.
What? You don't want to vote for that mustache?
No, I don't need
come
all the
on.
buttons on a suit like that.
Come on.
He's trying to replace Adam Schiff.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
He's got some good momentum, too.
Dude, I hope he does. They've got to be tired of all the crap.
I think they don't think that it's the politician's fault out there.
I mean, it is.
I know, but they still don't.
I don't know how.
I got a ton of friends in L.A. They still don't. I think they're still blaming it on Trump.
For real?
For what's going on there.
They do.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, they do. I mean, everybody who I talk to
How?
still thinks because they're. I don't.
Any place in America that is the least likely to be affected by what Trump does would be California.
Yeah.
Because they're going to do the opposite of whatever Trump does. So how could it be Trump's fault?
No, you make a point. I can't really answer that, but that's what I hear.
Well, it's the same thing. They're still blaming for the border. You know,
right.
When Biden got in office, he signed like 17 executive orders the first couple of days.
He opened that shit up.
He said, "Come on in," and opened everything up. And he's like, "We can't do anything. It's because of Trump's telling the Republicans don't pass this bill. It's him. Okay, you could still do something.
Right.
All you got to do is sign an executive order, and you can shut it right down.
Right. We shouldn't have a giant open border for any reason.
Yeah,
I don't think that's
not
a
good plan.
crazy thought. It's not racist. It's not anything. It's just responsible.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to say that.
Yeah.
I know, you're right. I'm canceled.
You know.
We got to open up. We got to open up the border because they have the cannibals over there. The cannibals, okay? And my grandpa.
The cannibals that ate his uncle.
My grandpa's a Mexican.
6,000 new people a day.
Yeah, I think there's like 8. I think we're at 8 million now.
Yeah.
It's 2021.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. They're bringing all sorts of culture.
Yeah. In New York, they get, debit cards, a credit card, $1,800 a month for
a phone,
18 months, a phone and a hotel. But they have to promise to only spend the money on food and baby formula.
Oh, yeah. Well, as long as they promise.
Yeah.
Well, they're trustworthy.
I think it's a pinky promise.
Yeah, as long as they promise hard enough, I'm good with my tax dollars going to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and as long as people get a smaller refund this year like they've been getting, I'm good with that.
Yeah.
Dude, the hotels even right by Fox Studios are packed, and it's just filled with illegal immigrants.
I forget what it cost like a month, like $5 billion a month to house everyone and to give them money and put them up in the hotels. Because the hotel still charges the same rate to the state of New York, so they don't care.
Of course. And
they're
then
raking
it's
it
still,
in.
Yeah, $300 a night.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, dude.
Insane.
All right. Well, that's going to be our show. Because it's
so depressing.
I'm just, it's ending. The world, the world's ending, and that's going to bring us. Well, actually, you know what? Where can we catch you first?
Check out my podcast. Everybody is Awful. Comes out every Monday. Yeah, I mean, everybody is. So
Yeah.
I couldn't agree more.
And check me out on tour, JimFlorentine.com in Tampa, Dallas, Milwaukee, and Phoenix, Arizona coming up.
Awesome. And
Thanks
then,
for coming on.
Yeah, we really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah. And now we bring you to the end of the world. All right. What do you think is a sign of the apocalypse? QB.
Oh. Like a modern sign, whatever would be a good sign. Trans trumpet hour.
Okay.
What is that?
You don't know the trumpets?
No.
It's one of the signs of the apocalypse.
Oh, I see. Oh, I
Seven
thought
trumpets.
that
Yeah, the 7 queens now.
I thought that this was a thing that had happened, and I was confused why.
Well, it's coming. It hasn't happened yet.
Okay, I see.
We had the horse. Next is the trans trumpet.
Okay.
It's a transsexual trumpet.
Yes.
Is the trumpet transsexual?
I don't know.
Well, I don't want to assume.
All right.
But
Angela.
you can assume.
Sign of the end times. Dylan Mulvaney doing stand up.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was
That did
definitely
happen.
the
That's
first
already
horseman.
happened.
That did happen. It did happen. Oh my God.
Jim.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce.
That's a good point.
Just in general. Yeah.
I think we're almost over. I'm gonna say white girls saying "Free Palestine"
Yeah.
Yeah.
all over every college,
They're not exactly sure what they're talking about, but
No.
No.
Completely confused.
and they're also wearing
Why they're there.
Halloween USA Arabian Night costumes.
Which you would think would be offensive, but it's okay if
No.
you're at the protest.
Yeah, they're just doing that though.
Yeah.
and the guys that go there, they're obviously not getting laid.
No,
So they think if they go and support this with all the women there, they're like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, He's for the right cause. Let's go have drinks afterwards.
Yeah, or if
So that's what they're doing. They don't even know what the fuck they're doing. But hey, there's gonna be a lot of hot girls there. So I'm gonna go protest too. I don't even know what I'm protesting about.
well,
No
if they're
feminist
really-
101.
If they're really into the culture, you can just fuck them. Good night.